Hey, what's up? This is Trey, and I've got this shirt sitting here because I just got a new deck of tarot cards that I'm going to show you. Man, they are beautiful. I've been using the Book of Shadows tarot deck. I've been using this personal deck, the one I've been doing readings with. I'm very familiar with it. Since about, I don't know, 2011, 2012, somewhere. I've been using it about 3 years, so probably 2011. Okay, so this deck is called the Deviant Moon deck, and I just love this deck. Check out the back of the decks. They're much bigger than the Book of Shadow deck. See there? See how much bigger they are? That's at the top of the deck. So you've got that much left. And what I've noticed, it makes it really nice for the pictures. These are some of my favorite cards that I've seen so far in the deck that I really fell in love with. Now this is a darker deck, and I really love it, and I can't wait to start working with it. Check out this card here. That's really just awesome. That would be the Three of Swords. Very cool card. Here's the Ten of Pentacles. Just look at how amazing the cards look. I mean, they're just... I love it, man. They're just amazing. I just can't wait to work with them. And look at that. The artwork is just simply amazing, and very glad I got it. It's going to take a lot of getting used to because I'm used to the pagan deck. So I won't be doing any readings for anybody with this one anytime soon. I'll just be doing readings for myself with this deck until I become familiar with it. And who knows, maybe it'll be a deck I pick up on quick. I've had that happen before too, when you just really get a connection with the deck, which I really feel like I'm going to have a great connection with this deck because I love horror flicks. And this deck is just, it's dark, man. It's really cool. I can't wait to see what some of my clients think about it. This is a really cool card. Pretty cool. This would be the Nine of Cups. I mean, the artwork is just simply amazing. I'm not going to have time to sit here and go through all these, but look at that. Very cool cards, man. I do want to show you my favorite card, which I had here on the bottom. This is the card that I've connected with the most on here. This card is just sexy. It's awesome. It's a little gypsy holding up the pentacles, Two of Pentacles. Pretty awesome card that is right there. That's one of my favorites. And then This deck has got some nudity in it. There's a card with, you can see some nudity there. Kind of wild. There's actually quite a few cards with, I thought this was a really cool card. It'd be the Nine of Swords. Just to show you, look how dark this is. The woman is chiseling out the dude's eye, and the other dude there is chiseling on her ass in between her butt crack. And man, I mean, that's a crazy card, man. It's pretty wild. Here's the death card. Cool little death card. This was another cool card I like, the Ace of Pentacles. Cool card. Let's see, the Fool. The Fool's Journey. That's what the major arcana is based on. I have a hard time saying that word. I don't know why. But it's the Fool's Journey. And this is the last card of the majors, the World. But look how awesome that card is. It's very abstract too. I mean, it's amazing, man. There's another. And there's more over here. These are just some of my favorites. Check out the Moon. Being a puppet to the moon. That's a pretty cool card. Like I said, I can't wait to start working with these. I haven't done a reading with them yet. I've just been connecting with the cards and checking out the artwork and, you know, that type of deal. I always like to check out my cards before I dig into them and start doing a reading with them, because, you know, you got to connect with the deck. And if you don't connect with the deck, they're not going to do very well for you. That's the thing about, there's thousands of tarot decks out there, thousands and thousands of themes, and check out the Devil card. The Devil card is truly amazing. Beautiful card. But if you don't connect with your deck, you're not going to want to use it. And it's okay on a collector's standpoint, you know, if you want to collect decks. But having a deck trying to work with a deck that you just don't connect with doesn't work very well. You just don't get the energy from the decks. And here's the Two of Cups. That's a really cool card. There's some more nudity in this one. This one was only got one booby. Let's see, that would be, I believe that would be the Four of Pentacles. Here's one, the baby in this little pod. Look at his face. I don't know if I can get it in there real good, but it's really disturbing. It's really, I mean, this is a really dark deck, and I like it. I like that kind of thing. There's another cool Pentacles card. And this is the Borderless deck. They sell this with borders. I wanted the borderless because this will be my first borderless deck that I've had. And I've had, God, I don't know how many tarot decks. I've had a lot. Now this next card is probably my second to the favorite. I already showed you my first favorite was the Gypsy. Check out the eyeball that's in that door. Pretty wild. Pretty wild card, man. Pretty wild. This is just an amazing deck. Trying to remember who the artist was. Patrick Benzuela or something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's Patrick something. Oh, here's the Queen of Wands she's got two breasts on one side. I just thought that was an interesting card. This next card coming up is just another cool card. Just shows the darkness of the deck. Actually, the other one coming up too shows the darkness. That would be I believe it's 7. Yeah, that's 7 of Swords. This would be the 10 of Swords. Look at that, man. I mean, that is a dark deck, man. I've never really had a deck that, because like I said, I love horror movies, and the Lover's card is really well done too. That's the Lover's card. But I've never had a deck that I just never really... I mean, I've had decks that I've liked. I've never really had a deck that I loved. And as of right now, I'm just really loving this deck. I mean, I couldn't tell you how it reads. I don't know how accurate it's going to be. I hope it works out really well. I hope it's as accurate as the deck I've been using. Check her out. This is just a crazy deck, man. Now those were my favorite cards. The top two being the Gypsy and probably that eyeball one. Now here's some of the other cards. I like these as well. The Tower. It's just like I said, I'm used to a pagan deck and a pagan themed deck, and it's going to take a lot of digging into these cards and spending time with them, getting to know the images. And I mean, just look at this, man. It's freaking fish, man. Like this giant piranha is eating these three characters, and there's almost like a booby in that guy's mouth, and he's pouring water on her, which would be the 3 cups. But man, this is a crazy. This is a crazy deck, man. There's another one. The Queen of Pentacles, that's a cool card. And another thing I noticed about these cards, they're very, very thin. They're not like the Book of Shadow cards. They're a very thick card, and I don't know if I'm gonna I don't know how they're gonna wear when you use them. Like I said, I've had that set for going on 3 years, and there is some wear because you do use them a lot. I use them almost every day, but I mean, you know, that card's 3 years old, and there's some wear on it, but that's still slick and they still feel good. So that's another thing is that's a cool card. That's a really, just what I'm getting at looking at this card is some sadness there, some not being some very self-conscious attitude going on there, that somebody that's not very prideful of themselves, somebody that has low self-esteem. That's what I was looking for. Somebody that's got very low self-esteem. That's just my first glance at that card, but I mean, there's some more nudity into that one. Oh, the Hangman. That's a pretty cool card. But I'm not going to sit here and go through all the cards. There's too many to go through. Let's see if there's some others that just flat out stick out that I feel like I need to show. Yeah, that's a cool one. Check him out. Pretty wild. This reminds me of a Rob Zombie when he makes the dude into the mermaid fish. That's what that reminds me of. Just right offhand looking at it. Mermaid boy. Let's see. There's a cool one. I mean, just look at they're not humans. I guess I got to do more research on this deck. They're creatures, man. But in the humans, it's got like moon faces and shit. And there's Judgment. That's pretty wild. It's got a Christian-based theme on that. I don't know. This is a really cool deck. Oh, there's the Hermit. I'll show you that one, and that's going to be on my show. There's the Hermit. That's a pretty cool deck. Pretty cool card. So there we have it. Like I said, they're kind of big. They're kind of hard to get used to mixing, but man, they're just so slick. And I found where they're thin, they're easier to mix like a playing card, like a poker deck. But see, these cards are thicker. I mean, you can just hear the difference. So I'm really worried about how they're going to wear. That's why I've got this down here for right now, because I don't want to. I've been kind of messing with them some, and I don't want to wear them out on the table. I've got a reading cloth ordered. It ain't got here yet. But really cool deck, and like I said, I'm gonna be anxious to start working with it. And learning it. One thing I did not like, it does come with a pamphlet. It's 40-some pages. I think 41 pages. And it does tell you a little bit about the meanings of the cards. But, for instance, like I don't know if I got it sitting down here or not. It should be. Oh, yeah, there it is. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this, too. The book that came with, the Book of Shadows, the deck that I use, look at how thick that book is. And, you know, I was really disappointed. I was hoping to get another book like this, but it came with this pamphlet. So, you know, there's a big difference there. So, this deck is going to take a lot more time getting used to, because this book had a lot of information about the other cards, which you can't use the same meanings for these cards, because it's a pagan themed deck, and the cards mean something completely different, and it's to do with paganism. And you know, like right there, see, there's a goddess. It's to do with gods and goddesses, and earths and planets and all that pagan good stuff. So, you know, there's a big difference there. There's a big learning curve. But what I was going to show you, I had to buy a new book. I had this book already. I had to go out and buy it today, because I had this exact same book, and I was in the bathtub the other day, and I was reading, and it fell into the tub, and it ruined it. This book is $17.95 if you're at all interested in getting into tarot. It's Tarot 101. This does have card meanings. It's real meaty, as you can see. It's a real nice thick book. It's also a workbook. Well, as you can see, I've got some things highlighted. I like to go through my books and highlight. And it's a really nice workbook if you're just learning tarot, and it's a really good book if you're experienced in tarot, because there's a lot of meanings in here, and there's a lot of meanings that, you know, something compared to this pamphlet. You know, look at what you got. You got a 300 and some page book that's telling you all the different meanings, and the astrological meanings, and numerology, and I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on, and comparing what cards go with what cards. And tarot is not a overnight thing that you just get into and you learn. It's something you can mess around with for years and still keep learning. And I think from the day till the day I die, I'll always be learning something about tarot. And hopefully, you know, once you start growing, once you quit growing and think you've learned everything, that's when you need to get out of what you're doing, because there's always something to be learned. And this is a good book right here. I've got a lot of books on tarot. This book right here, I do not like. It's on the Rider-Waite deck, and I've had this deck of cards, but I mean, look at the cards. I mean, I know that's the drawing, but these are the actual cards. They're cheesy, and I just never could, you know, I never could make a connection with the cards, you know. Look at the Hanged Man. I mean, it's just